Today on the Daily Buzz, Celebrity Feuds, an angry Howard Stern, Rihanna versus Joan, and more drama for Gaga. The battle lines are drawn today. Justin Bieber joins the X Factor. Plus, we have exclusive photos of a crazy Biebs in Hollywood. What in the world is he up to now? Then, the Prince Harry photo scandal. How his X-rated snapshots changed the way scandals are born. We look at the famous faces whose wild antics made it immediately online. And don't be deceived by this Glee cast photo. Matthew Morrison is spilling secrets right here on the Daily Buzz. Well, it's Tumultuous Tuesday here as celebrities turn on each other. Welcome to the Daily Buzz, I'm Dylan Howard. Nasty tweets, radio tirades, and a legal battle that has Lady Gaga under fire yet again. They are the Celebrity Feuds making news today, and we're getting to the bottom of the superstar battles. Let's start with Howard Stern and the tongue lashing he gave his bosses at NBC after they told him to stop bad-mouthing Jay Leno. Now, as we know, Howard has a long history of taking jabs at Jay. So this is what he said on his Sirius radio show. Let's take a look.
I got like a sort of a threatening kind of comment from one of the executives.
Really?
Yeah, I was laughing my ass off.
What'd they say?
You don't want to repeat it? Yeah, I was like laughing. I said, do not tell me not to talk about Jay Leno. I will talk about Jay for 4 hours if you tell me not to. I was done with Jay Leno. Now I'm all fired up again. Jay. Take my job away from me. Who cares?
Entertaining, but did he go too far? So let's welcome entertainment reporter and nationally syndicated radio host Jonathan Hyler, and from New York, Huffington Post columnist Rob Shooter. Thanks very much for joining us today. As we know, Howard's disdain of Jay was something the network knew before they hired him for America's Got Talent. Rob, do you think NBC will back away from these threats, or is Howard going to get in more hot water?
Absolutely not. Howard's not going to back away from anything. Not only did they know that he disliked Jay Leno, they also knew that they were hiring Howard Stern. Howard has a big mouth. He says exactly what he wants to say, and that's why he got the job. He says it as it is. So I don't think Howard's going to back away from this at all. And if NBC keep pushing him, I think he's only going to get worse, which is great news for you and me because I love this stuff.
But Rob, we also know that Jay Leno's under fire at the moment, but this was a significant vote of support for him in the wake of those job cuts on The Tonight Show.
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean there?
Well, we know that they've already cut a number of positions away from the Today Show. Everyone had to take pay cuts. Jay Leno had to stump up some cash to keep the staff in their roles. So for the network to support him privately against Howard Stern, to me, shows a significant level of support.
Oh, absolutely. The network loves, Jay. He's still the #1 night show. They made massive pay cuts, and Jay included made a pay cut there. Jay plays well, but if you think you can control Howard Stern, you're absolute fools. He's uncontrollable, and he's not going to start now because he has a little job on NBC. This pays him so little compared to what he makes on radio. This is like chump change for Howard. He ain't going to be controlled.
All right, let's move on to a tense tweet catfight between comedian Joan Rivers and pop star Rihanna. Let me set this up for you guys. So after Joan saw Rihanna's confession to Oprah Winfrey that she still loves Chris Brown, this is what Joan tweeted. Rihanna confessed to Oprah Winfrey that she still loves Chris Brown. Idiot, she said. Now it's my turn to slap her. Rihanna tweeted back, control your speech. And then she went on to say this. Wow, you really do get slow when you're old. Slap on some diapers. Joan, not over there, tweeted back at Rihanna and said, honey, everyone knows if he hit you once, he'll hit you again. Read the statistics. P.S. Love to have you on the Fashion Police. So, Hyla, Joan often goes after celebrities. It's really part of her shtick. She's always done it. So is this just par for the course?
It's part for the course for her, but it's also crossing the line. I mean, there's certain things that I personally don't think should be made into a joke, and domestic violence is one of them. I don't care if it's coming from her or any other comedian, and I'm kind of tired of comedians thinking that they can cross the line in the name of comedy. You're talking about domestic violence. Do we need to bring up those photos of Rihanna and her face? I mean, this is serious business. And on top of it, for Joan to go so far and try to promote her television show wrapped in a joke around domestic violence, she's a moron. And I wish E! and Comcast would step up and say something about that. That's crossing the line.
So, Rob Shooter, was it perfect PR or a low blow, given that she did invite Rihanna onto Fashion Police?
It was genius, is what it was. Joan Rivers is the funniest woman in America. She said what we were all thinking and dare not say. And if you can't make comedy into real issues, I think she was brilliant. I think
Rob,
that
she's
things
crossing
comedians
the
say
line here. She's
pushes
making a
forward.
joke about domestic violence. I'm going to
No,
slap
I'm
her.
with
And
you,
you know what?
Hyla.
Rihanna
Not
got the
domestic
best of her
violence, and
in their
speak
tweet
about
battle
it.
saying slap on some diapers. And she's not even a comic.
Hyla, I am completely with you. Trivialising domestic violence.
Side here, Dylan. Wrong side.
How can I be on the wrong side? I'm with Hyla. Trivialising domestic violence
No,
is
no.
at the core of this, Rob Shooter.
Wait. She's got us all talking about domestic violence. What Rihanna said to Oprah was absolutely shocking. This was a man who allegedly beat the hell out of her, and she still wants to be with him.
Wait, it's not shocking for someone to come out and say, this is how I still feel. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm sharing this with the world. I'm sure this is how a lot of women who go through this process feel the same way, sharing her feelings. Why should that be turned into a joke and used against her?
I don't think it's used against her, and I don't think it's turned into a joke. I think what Joan did was reflect a little bit of humour on this so we could all take a breath and talk about it. Without humour, we're crying. Humour's the best way to get through these very difficult situations.
Moving on, guys. How has Twitter changed the canvas when it comes to celebrities' personal business being kept private? I've got to say, never before have we been in an era whereby an A-list star like Rihanna can share how she feels for the entire world to see, Hyla.
Yeah, I love this. And not just Twitter. I think even Instagram is having a bigger impact. Using Rihanna as an example here, if you follow her on Instagram, she's showcasing her life every day with tons of photos daily. That takes the impact away from websites and from magazines, and she can kind of control her public image and her public persona. Hey, sometimes it gets people in trouble. We've seen Twitter accounts that had to be shut down because someone didn't have that PR representative to help filter what they wanted to say. You know, maybe someone like an Anthony Weiner comes to mind of how it could backfire. But no, Rihanna, she's handling this so far, this particular situation, the way she should, and more importantly, the way she wants to.
From one pop star to another, Lady Gaga's former personal assistant is suing her for nearly $400,000 for unpaid overtime, a bit like Rob Shooter's assistant. Now, the suit claims the megastar's intense schedule didn't allow her to eat at times, much less sleep. Hyla, it looks like this is going to go to court. Would it be best for Gaga to settle and avoid the indignity of being on the witness stand?
Well, first of all, I want her to go to court just because I want to see what does Lady Gaga wear when she walks into a courtroom and sitting on the stand. That's what I want to know.
I can tell you what the headline will be right now, Hyla. Courtroom couture.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, it all depends on what message she wants to send, right? When Bieber was approached with a salacious story, he said, I'm not going to take this, the baby mama story. He said, I'm not going to take this, and I'm going to take the paternity test, and that went away, right? So they weren't able to get that money grab. I feel this is a money grab as well. Listen, I know a lot of assistants that work with high-profile people in Hollywood. This is par for the course. You don't get lunch? That's like a normal day. If you don't want to deal with the stress of being an assistant to one of the biggest stars in the world, then don't become an assistant. She was also a friend. I think there might be some hard feelings here. So if Gaga wants to set a precedent and say, you're not just going to take money from me, yeah, I'll show up in court and I'm going to win this, fine. If she wants the easy way out, she just pays the money under the table and then it goes away.
Now, Shooter, you're a former high-powered Hollywood publicist to the stars. If you were advising Lady Gaga, what would you be saying, my good man?
I would say go all the way. It's ridiculous. If you don't like your job, you don't wait until you're $400,000 behind in overtime to say something. If you're working too hard and it hits $20, $30, $200, maybe that's the point to say you owe me some money. This is absolutely ridiculous. This little brat was sitting while pop culture history was being made. She had a front row seat. It's so stupid that now she's decided to sue Gaga all the way. And if you get hungry and don't eat lunch, have a bite out of that meat dress.
I'm glad you two are on opposite coasts because you two are going at it today. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Daily Buzz. For more on today's Celebrity Wars, head on over to the website celebbuzz.com. So now it's time to see where in the world the stars are. In today's Globetrotter segment, it's mummy mania across the country. Pink in her underwear, carrying her lookalike daughter Willow on the LA set of her forthcoming music video. Drew Barrymore staying fit in LA, an LA yoga class as she gets closer to welcoming her firstborn. And also spotted in Los Angeles, bright and yellow, mummy of twins, soon to be, True Blood star Anna Paquin. And in New York City, Matthew McConaughey and his family. They certainly are indeed a very beautiful family. Okay, so moving on. A gorgeous family indeed. Straight ahead, it looks like Justin Bieber is about to take his popularity to a television screen near you. Will he be teaming up with Simon Cowell? We'll tell you next.